pjnet.tv. It is Wednesday night, 9:01 on the East Coast. We are running a bumper. We have Beckie Lindsey standing by. We have a chat room waiting to hear her. We are recording and streaming to nine social media destinations. We'll switch to Studio 8 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, another good evening. Welcome to pjnet.tv. I'm Coach Prasick. It is my honor to sit here and converse with some of the most wonderful people in the world. Now, every month about this time, we hear from Beckie Lindsey, and she is standing by. Beckie Lindsey blogs at BeckieLindsey.com. Now, Beckie, out there where you're at, the sun is still up, and you're just getting started, and you have a blog out, and it's hot. You're actually experiencing rain in California?
Yes, we had thunderstorms. We've had power outages, and there was a thunderstorm today, and it's done now. It was short-lived, but it's still hot. It's been triple digits. So I'm thankful right now that my air conditioner is working because, it's hot.
Speaking of that, I'm going to turn
and
mine
I'm in the
down.
high desert. I don't know if you guys know that.
It's
Yeah,
mine has a remote.
Okay.
This is actually the thermostat also. It's anyway.
Nice. Okay.
I read your blog with a great deal of interest, and there were so many good things in there, but the one that poked out in my mind and just seared my soul is we need to pray and think of the subject of the object of our prayer as the giver, not the gift.
Yeah.
That convicted me. Hey God, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. What? Come on, God. Give me some help here.
No.
But, we need to pray, but we need to pray in the correct frame of mind.
Right. Well, as I had said, God wants us to bring our requests to him. We know this from his word, that he wants us to bring our requests to him. But when it just becomes all about give me, then there's a problem. And we just do that. We tend to do it. And I'm guilty myself. So which is most of the time when I write these things, I'm writing for me, for myself. Yes. And then I figure other people probably can relate to it. And you guys have met Dave and James from the EYF podcast, and they've had some great guests on there. Yeah, they've had some great guests on there, and a pastor spoke along these lines, and I was convicted, and I was like, and I talked to the Lord about it, and this is what came out of it. And so I'm reframing the way I'm praying, but not just that, but coming to him out of victory and not defeat. Praying back his promises to him. And I know we know we can pray his word, but knowing that everything is at our disposal. We have everything that we really need because he is a good father, and praying those promises back to him. So I kind of give examples of how that would look. I've been sick. We know people that are sick, and we would love to have a healing. We all want that healing. But the truth of the matter is we are going to be healed no matter what, whether we're here or whether we're in glory, and accepting that his will and praying it to him. Thank you that you're going to heal me no matter what. This body is going to break down at one point or another, and then I'm going to get a new one when I'm with you. So, and rejoicing in that, I rejoice in that new body all the time. The older I get, the more I rejoice in that new body that I'm going to have. So, especially my knees. And maybe a few of these lines. So anyway, got off subject there.
You covered them so well. As I get older, I kind of look back and remember, when you're in small group Bible study and do prayer requests, when we were in our 20s, it was about, getting through college, the term papers, and then once we got out of college, prayer requests tended to be around career stuff or relationships. And then once you get married, it's about kids, and then so the season of life that you're in, a lot of times, I won't say sets boundaries on our prayer, but we tend to stay in those bounds
Yeah.
based on our own experience, when really the world's bigger than our world that we're living in this season.
Right. I agree. I mean, and if we can zoom out and which is hard to do when you're in the midst of a trial, it really is hard to do. That's why we have the Holy Spirit. He helps us to do that. When we line ourselves up with him and say, okay, I know my vision is on my issues right now, but I also know you've got a bigger plan. And so help me to see it. Help me to see from your perspective and get back on track, get back up to the mission, because the mission, as we've talked about before, it has not changed. No matter what, we are here to bring honor and glory to him. He wants us to use the gifts that we've been given. He wants us to get to know him better and better so that we will reflect him more and more. And there's no other way to do that than spending time with him and being in his word. There just isn't. There's no shortcut to that. It's a relationship. Like all relationships take effort. It's the same thing with God. And he's always there. This is on us. And yeah, it's on us.
Prayer request, in a Bible study group is a touchy thing, and I'm always hesitant to try to judge somebody's motives or somebody's heart. But one time there was a prayer request because they were going on a mission trip, and I thought, what a way of glorifying yourself. And the reason I'm so able to be so judgmental as to the motives of the person making that request is that person was me. I didn't really want prayer about the mission trip. I just wanted everybody to know I was doing it.
Oh, gosh.
That's pretty bad.
But you know what? You've confessed it here, and you've probably already talked to the Lord about it, and he's obviously convicted your heart. And we know that the enemy likes to, instead of conviction, he likes to tear us down, but that you learned something from it. But we do need prayer for going on mission trips, for sure.
Yeah, this one was to Colombia, and I don't mean South Carolina. So, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, definitely need prayer for a mission trip. The enemy doesn't want it. He doesn't want us going. And actually, yes, we battle those things, whether we're battling the world, our own flesh, or the enemy. And in this case, you're saying, well, there was my own flesh involved there. But you know what? The enemy is there, too, to say,
Well, it's kind of like open mic time, and some people use it as a time, or at least that's the impression I get. I'll leave it between them and God. You actually started a Facebook group, Intercessory Prayer for Our Nation.
Yes, you were breaking up a little bit there. Did you say Prayer for the Nation?
You started a Facebook group for intercessory prayer for our nation. So when you use the phrase zoom out, that's what it took me 2 sentences to say what you said in two words. Zoom out, get the bigger picture. It's not, our prayer life shouldn't be all about us. Right.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, this pin that I'm wearing right here, it's pray for our country. And that I got this actually from Intercessors for America. I don't know if you've heard of this organization or if I've spoken about them before, but I've been involved with them before the last presidential election. I found them, and they are praying over our nation and over the politics in our nation, but with framing it in a Christian mindset. I'm looking to see Derek Prince. He's now gone to be with the Lord, but he was one of the founders. And this is just such a great organization and so many good resources. It helped me to focus to zoom out, like I was saying, to zoom out and focus on the bigger picture. And also, they have like prayer groups. There's an interactive map where you could like prayer walk through your neighborhood. And they put out special reports of, pray for Mike Pompeo. And so everyone's praying for him, and pray for this person. They put out different things where you can, it's kind of like a already pre-written letter that you can write to politicians in your state. You just go on their website and you put in the state that you are a part of, and you can send letters to your representatives. So they just make it so easy, and kind of like there's no excuse. Oh, thank you for putting that up there, Barbara. That's the website for Intercessors for America. And they have like first Friday of the month, fasting and prayer. We have great people. We've had Ben Carson on there. Just all kinds of, President Trump himself actually was on one of the calls. I'm not kidding. I mean, like, you hear his voice and there's all these other people, so it's just like, whoa, President Trump is actually on this call, but it's pretty neat. So anyway, they put out a bunch of material that you can share with your churches, just kind of prayer guides. So it's a great resource. So I've kind of been wearing this pin, hoping to get it attention and tell people to pray. Yes.
Well, it was red, white, and blue. I thought, maybe you had voted today, and because I voted yesterday, and they give you these little stickers, and so it was rather uneventful.
Well, it's actually a pin. It's actually a pin. It's not the sticker.
It's not a sticker. Yeah, we won't. Yeah, it'll.
No,
it's hard to put on. It's stickers. You can just do that. So. You have many books, but you have one that's in the hopper, and it's about to pop out of the oven. What's it going to be like?
Okay, so it's a series called Beauties from Ashes, where it's spiritual warfare suspense, and it's written mainly for high school to new adult teens. And so this is book 4, and it actually might be the end of the series. Although okay, look at this. Can you see how big this is? I printed out the whole, cause I just got all the edits back today from Deb Haggerty at Elk Lake. Shout out to her. She's amazing. I love Elk Lake. But once we've gone through everything, I just print out the whole thing because I have to, I can't do it on the computer anymore. I need to now edit page by page, just make sure there's no errors. But anyway, back to the book. This is the 4th book. It's called Awakening, and it will wrap up a lot of the cliffhanger stuff that I've left readers on from book to book. There's, what's Crystal going to do with the baby? It was calling me. I had a call before. Did that interrupt?
No, we're here. We're still here.
Oh, okay. I've had to decline 2 calls from my kids. They're probably like, "What's going on with Mom?" They don't call me otherwise. It's always when you're busy.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
Anyway, so this book is the wrap up of the series while the girls are in high school. Deb, the publisher, said, "I'm wondering if we're going to have more when they're in college. We shall see." I'm also anticipating possibly writing a companion to this, and it would be actually nonfiction, like a young adult guide to spiritual warfare, because I really want, which I did with this series, I wanted to bring attention to some of the social issues that girls struggle with, and boys nowadays, such as, it's tough stuff. There's abuse, sexual abuse, there's teen pregnancy, and then suicide and depression. I know it sounds like, whoa, but a lot of our teens are going through this, and it's not subjects that we're talking about enough, especially in church. And I wrote the books hoping to put it in, a fictional story opens up conversation. I kind of looked at it, not that Jesus spoke in parables. There's power in story. And so I wrote study questions in the back. I talk about these angels. There's angels and demons that are battling for these girls. And it's been a great journey. And I have been able to talk to so many just great people. I've started book clubs, which is amazing. I'm going to be, there's a book club at a middle school that's doing the books, and other gals, some homeschool groups. And we're just going through the study questions. I'll meet with them on Zoom, which works perfectly nowadays. That is the most exciting part of this to me, is to get to interact and get to let girls and guys know that somebody cares, and point them to Jesus. And like, I get to actually talk to them. It's so exciting to me. I am thrilled about the book club idea, and that starts soon. The next book releases in September. I don't have the exact date yet, which is driving me nuts, but I have a feeling it's supposed to be about mid-September. This is just so you can see. This is, can you see that? That's book 1, Secrets. And there's Uninvited and Daybreak, and now we have Awakening. So I'm kind of rambling about these books, but it's a passion. I'm very excited about it. I can tell you one super exciting thing that I would love for you guys to pray over with this, because I told you how excited I am to do book clubs, because I get to talk to girls. I've had the blessing and honor of getting to interview some amazing people with SoCal Christian Voice. And I interviewed 2 different actresses from the movie Overcomer, that Christian film. And Erin Wright Thompson, she played Hannah, which was a 17-year-old runner in the movie. She has these books, and she's considering doing a book club. That would be so cool. That would be neat. But, it's in God's department. But I'm saying, hey, why not pray? Why not get the prayer warriors out there to pray over it? Because obviously this girl's got a bigger platform than I do. She's an actress, and she knows teenagers, and that's who I'm trying to reach. So there you go.
You tend to get some heavy hitters in your interviews.
It's God.
Well, plus you're in California. I mean, you're right there, right? I mean,
maybe that does help. I don't know. I mean, I don't. Maybe it has to do with the name SoCal Christian Voice. But I don't know. I wouldn't. I didn't know these people before. I mean, I became the editor of SoCal Christian Voice, and our friend Del DeWay is the one that introduced me to Rhonda Krill, who is the founder of One Christian Voice. And they met at the Florida Christian Writers Conference, and he got started writing for them, and then opened up the Southern Ohio division. And he told me about it, and I started writing, just submitting to One Christian Voice. But I didn't know any of these folks. I'm serious. I didn't. It just, one thing led to another. And now that you have interviewed one, I kind of know some of the people that handle their PR. And so that helps. And once you've written a few articles and they know that you can be trusted,
right.
Then they're open to other interviews. So, cause I interviewed Sherry Rigby first, and then I just thought, well, I wonder if they have the same company, representing them. So I just reached out to that gal and said, hey, I want to talk to Erin. She's like, sure. It's yay. So, and she was just amazing, just an amazing young woman for God. And that's really the privilege. And I think, did you guys know that I also was able to interview the young man that played the drums for I Can Only Imagine? And he's now, what is he now, 22 years old. But at the time, his story is on my blog and on SoCal Christian Voice. But he was amazing too. I love talking to all of these people, but especially young people, because it gives me hope. Because we look around and we could just think, what is going on? Like, especially the way our nation looks right now, we could think there's no hope for the next generation. But I'm telling you, I talk to kids all the time that are doing amazing things for God. So there's hope. and I love to put that out there.
Becky, I too have struggled to get those appointments and those interviews with those celebrity, high profile types. And many of them are well protected. They've got rings and rings and rings of gatekeepers around them. And the takeaway I got from that is, it's hard to get an appointment with a governor or a United States congressman, people of influence. Yet we have a God that would love to hear from us, that is so much more powerful and so much more influential. And it seems like he's the last one we go to. And your blog today was very encouraging, but also very challenging and convicting in so many ways. And we appreciate your blogging on prayer life, because I think it's a struggle that is not uncommon among Christians. And you're a real blessing. I appreciate you sharing that. Now, we think we're going to see you in a month, but in 1 month it's going to be your birthday.
Yes, we're not going to talk about age. I'm just not sure. I might be combining it with the launch of this book, or I can just, and I don't know what Scott's doing. My husband, he is a spontaneous guy, and I need to hint around and see if he's
Did he marry you spontaneously?
Something.
Come on now. I mean, he thought about that a little bit, didn't he?
Oh my gosh, it took him forever to, yes, but but I know what you're saying. He'll just do these things. So I need to let him know my plans are, and because his birthday's the 22nd, so we can celebrate then. But I just didn't want to commit to it and then be like, oh no, because I think it'd be kind of fun to be here and be with y'all, and maybe I could do the book launch the next day, not on my birthday. So.
Well, we know this. Next time you're here, there'll be a lot going on. And
yes,
we'll figure it out. Well, Becky, we are out of time. Thanks for sharing with us tonight, Becky. It's always good. Thank you for all your help that you give the PJNet team. A lot of people don't know all the things you do behind the scenes, but many of the guests that have appeared here are as a result of your prayer, your initiatives, and your work. So thank you so much for your being a team player here on PJNet.tv. Really enjoyed it, Becky.
Oh, thank you. I'm honored, truly, and thank you for what you do, Coach.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, drink that coffee, and I'm going to take a break before I get back on and see
get on the
our
chat room.
Next guest.
There you go. All right, folks. That was Beckie Lindsey. She is with us on what is this? The third. I'm trying to remember what day it is, but the third Wednesday of every month, and she joins us. Folks, we have a little surprise for you coming up at the bottom of the hour. Normally we would have Michelle Medlock-Adams, but it's not unusual for Michelle to be on the road, as she is right now. She's arriving at her destination, is my understanding. So we'll be back in just a few minutes, about 7 minutes at the bottom of the hour, and we will introduce you to one of Missy's childhood friends. Missy. I didn't know about that. We're going to find out. Before I leave, I need to ask you to ask yourself 2 questions. What is the boldest thing you've ever done for Jesus Christ? The second question is, when was that? The challenge is to never be satisfied with either answer.